everyone, my name is Lydia, also known as Illustrata, and welcome to Scraptopiece. So this video has already been pre-recorded for your viewing pleasure. So you guys have seen my videos of my home tour, my resetting my space, organizing my closet, my dresser, and so of course the one that I alluded to when I was resetting my space was cleaning my art room. I have literally lived in this house for 3 years. Well, maybe it's closer to 2.5, but so I've been living here since December 2021, and it's taken me 3 years to finally sit down and fully declutter my art room. I will say the few things that we won't be doing is going through my fabric stash. That doesn't need to be organized. I'm perfectly content with how it is right now. The shelving units in the corner right next to the fabric stash, those I don't need to go through either at the moment. The main focal point is just clearing out the floor and reorganizing the dressers, because those are the biggest pain in my butt. Especially not knowing exactly where everything is. Well, hey, let's cut to the footage and get to cleaning. Finally. So I have this shelf that used to have my big sister helmet and some other knickknacks on there, and I also kept like old sketchbooks and stuff in there. But I had the brilliant idea to clear all that out and put my dollhouse on there. Because if you look at my dollhouse, it's just sitting there. I haven't used it in a bit, but I want to move it out so I can start using that area for more storage, because this needs a lot of work. So right below it is where all of my dollhouse stuff is. So I'm going to put all of that in the drawers and kind of just organize it, declutter it, and everything. That's going to move over there. So I don't know how it's going to look, but we're going to see. Huzzah! It worked! Perfect. It sticks out a bit, but honestly not that much more than the actual shelf. It does cover my record holder a little bit, but that's fine. Yeah, so this will be good. It keeps it out of the way. And I can put some stuff on top of it too, so. Cool, let's go. All right. Turned out great. Fits perfectly. Bunch of the furniture into the slots. We got all the knickknacks and bigger furniture pieces. And these two up here. Meantime, move the side table over a little bit, and I just got this organizer from my sister Abby, so that'll be for like paper craft, and I'm probably gonna put my printer on top just as starting off, so we'll see. All right, so last night I basically went through pretty much a lot of my floor just to clean off like the little tiny bits to throw away. So this is all the stuff that still needs to be relatively organized. I mean, it's mostly organized, but I'm going to move all of this out into my living room so I can finally vacuum all of this. And I have a small tote that I put kind of like the little bits and bobs. I do really need to pull down my bits box from the shelf and then put all of it together so I can finally have a clean art room. Wow, I haven't seen this floor this clear in a long time. Well, hey! Now time to vacuum all of the little itty bits. Alright, we're finished with vacuuming. Looks a lot better in here. Okay, so that dresser, this purple one, used to be my brother's before I repainted it. I had moved that over when the dollhouse still used to be in, when I had my dollhouse in here, so it made it feel a little bit more open. But honestly, now that I don't have the dollhouse in here anymore, I think I'm going to switch this back over to right here, move the shelf right there, and have that side table in the corner. And then we can probably stack on like the wood totes and stuff like that. And then once we move the totes around, then I can put the printer onto the top of the dresser. Well, this corner is clear now. I need to go in and vacuum that because that looks gross. All right, it is cleared off and cleared off around. Ignore the rest. That'll be going right there. Okay, now that space is done. So now we move side table over there, and then this shelf right there. Ta-da! Side table, loose yarn storage, and divider for paper stuff. Unfortunately, that thing is too narrow to keep any of my crafting paper, which is unfortunate. Now to keep stacking stuff. That all looks good. I'm happy about that. All of the stuff is on there. I'm going to empty all 16 drawers. And then I don't think I have actual labels. Cash register. Okay, music box. Which one is this? To be honest, I have no idea what it's playing. Dissection tools. Thank you to my mother. Okay. This is also the drawer where I keep most of my sandpaper. So I'm probably still going to keep it as such. This is a roll of magnetic tape that I got for free at a yard sale. This is a pendant for my tooth cosplay. Rub and Buff, which I've also never used. More Rub and Buff. Just those. My compass. Very useful too. This is sticker paper. These will actually go in this drawer, in this divider. Yeah, just fit. That is, it just fully evaporated. I'm actually just going to keep that in there. Primer. That's some really good progress, but also too, look at the big boy. You can't really see him actually. But yeah, all of that stuff is all that was in the dresser, and it's honestly not as much as I thought it was. But now actually having access to it, and it's not just shoved in a corner, I can actually access it. So that one is going to be a lot more of a challenge to unload. So So a lot of the random stuff that I have are just that, random stuff, such as these little nitro capsules. I did get my bits box down, so once we're done filling out the dresser, then we're going to move on to emptying more stuff in the bits box. Because on one of my most recent trips, I went up to Crouch, Idaho, and we went to the thrift store there, which was super fun. I got a giant bag of stuff for only $20, including a bunch of purchase stuff and movie stuff, and it was awesome. But outside they had a box of bags of toys for free. So I rifled through that and found the biggest box they had, and I invited it to take home. This last drawer I am going to stick my loose doll heads into, because I'd rather have a dedicated drawer for them than just loosely floating around. So I don't know if they're all going to fit into this one drawer, but it's worth a shot. Okay. One thing that you don't expect when you become an art person or artistic creator is that you walk a very, very fine line between Jerry from Toy Story and Sid from Toy Story. I think they're good. I'm gonna take a picture of that and send it to my friends. And I know all of them are either going to think it's funny, know that it's a me thing, or think it's horrifying. So this is my bits box, for those of you who don't know. It's basically just a box for bits to go into. For particularly scrap building and stuff like that. So, that's a mess. Clearly, I'm going to toss all of these bits that have hair on them. Little bits. All these violets. I've contemplated like going through and detail organizing everything, but who has that kind of time? In this moment, not me. Alright, last bit. These are all the animal parts that I got from the free bag. They're gonna work awesome for some scrap builds. That's where that went. There we go. Alright, for now, put it away. I don't know if you've ever felt nostalgia with paint palettes, but I had an entire box full of them. And because in my old art studio, when I lived at my parents' house, I would basically use whatever I could get my hands on as a paint palette. So this is all from when I used to live at my parents' house. I think this was one of the first paint palettes I got. Then I would use just random Tupperware. Oh, this one was when I was trying to do acrylic pouring, but I think I'm just gonna toss it. But yeah, that's just so not any like This one I've probably had both of these two the longest. This one I would use for my acrylic paint, no, my oil paints, but I don't use oil paint anymore. That's why it stains so much. I really wish I had like an old walkthrough of what my art studio used to look like. I also have my old paint jars that I would keep paintbrushes in. So one of the boxes on my floor, that one in particular, is my container that has all of my clothing projects that were like mending type things or ones that I want to use for projects down the road. Then the other tote that I have, which is that one right here, that is all my wood or kind of figure repaints that I plan to do hopefully sooner than later. And the last box that I have currently sitting on the ground, that one. That is all of my borrower supplies for the upcoming Ren Fair. So eventually that'll be a video where I put together the project, but we shall see how soon we get to that. So I'm gonna call that a wrap for the art studio. I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. Maybe we'll have a video down the road where we go to a little bit more detail with sorting the shelves, but today is not that day. But that dresser is organized, so is that one. The floor is now clean. Hey, Mom. Aside from a few boxes, but it looks awesome. I'm very, very happy with it. But yeah, now I have a few more boxes to bring to the thrift store and just get rid of, and it feels so nice to have this room finally vacuumed. So I hope you enjoyed following along with me with the organization, and I hope this video gave you some motivation to tackle some tasks that you might have been putting off for a bit. I hope you all have an artsy lovely day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!